Did you know that in the 1940s, Mexico briefly legalized drugs like marijuana, heroin, and cocaine? It sounds unbelievable, but for a short moment in history, it actually happened. Let's take a closer look at one of the most fascinating and forgotten drug policy experiments in modern history. By the late 1930s, drug prohibition in Mexico was already in full swing, heavily influenced by the United States. The Mexican government cracked down on opium, poppy, and marijuana crops, but the black market thrived, violence escalated, and addicts suffered in silence with little to no medical help. Enter Dr. Leopoldo Salazar Viniegra, a Mexican psychiatrist who challenged the entire drug war narrative. Salazar believed that addiction was a medical issue, not a moral failing. His research showed that marijuana wasn't the madness-inducing drug U.S. officials claimed it was. He pushed for a revolutionary idea: legalize and regulate drugs to cut out the black market and treat addicts with dignity. In 1940, backed by the health ministry, Mexico decriminalized narcotics and launched a bold experiment. Instead of jailing users, the government opened clinics where addicts could receive clean, regulated doses of heroin, morphine, or marijuana under medical supervision. Doctors prescribed drugs legally and pharmacies dispensed them. The goal? To treat addiction like a disease, starve the illegal drug trade, and reduce crime. Early signs were promising. Drug-related violence dropped, and many users stabilized their lives. But there was a problem. The United States was watching, and it wasn't happy. America's top drug official, Harry Anslinger, was a fierce anti-drug crusader. He viewed Mexico's policy as a dangerous precedent and pressured the Mexican government to reverse course. The U.S. cut off all legal medical narcotics exports to Mexico, essentially creating a medical crisis. Without access to morphine and heroin for legal prescriptions, the clinics could not function. By the 1940s end, Mexico was forced to shut down its legalization program. Drug use was criminalized once again, and the cartels would rise in the power vacuum left behind. So, what can we learn from this forgotten moment in history? The 1940 experiment in Mexico was one of the first harm reduction models in the world, ahead of its time. It showed that legalization and healthcare-based approaches could work, but international policies, especially pressure from the US, shut it down. Today, as countries rethink the war on drugs, Mexico's short-lived policy offers a powerful what if. What if it had been allowed to continue? What if we had chosen compassion over criminalization? And that was a brief summary of Mexico's 1940 experiment of decriminalizing all narcotics. What do you think about the experiment? Could something like this work today in Mexico or in the US? Let me know what you think in the comments below.